Disclaimer! This is why Drake will win against Kendrick. On June 12th, 1994, years before most of you were born, there was this guy called Orange Juice who deleted his wife and his wife's boyfriend. Orange was a black dude married to a white woman by the name of Nikki. Orange used to play a weird version of soccer in America where they were allowed to use their hands. He was really good at it until the day he retired. Now, on this specific day though, Orange was kind of separated from his wife because he used to beat the shit out of her, and cops were called a couple times. So she made him stay at a separate house so that she could dilute him for a little bit, you dig? Orange stalked Nikki often, and on one night, Nikki's boyfriend, Makolite, came over to our house, and as he's entering, Orange puts on his gloves, takes out,
Slicer,
runs over to Nikki and Makolite, and...
What? Why are y'all...
Okay, it's time to talk about the evidence real quick. So, the cops make it to the deletion scene, and one of the first things that they find was a bloody glove that was left there, probably worn by the deleter. They found blood on the scene that didn't belong to Makolite or Nikki, later found to be Orange's blood. They found a bloody shoe print at the scene, later to be found that it was a pair that Orange owned, same size even. They knew Nikki was married to Orange, so the first person they went to go hit up and investigate was Orange at his house, which was 3.5 kilometers away. When they got to the house, Orange wasn't there because he was catching a flight on the same night. The cops jump over the gate, stupid, and then as they walking, what do they find? Yeah, but the other glove covered in blood. Then, when they enter the house, at the entrance was Nikki and Makolite's blood.
real nigga shit.
Who was Orange's friend or roommate or whatever they were, was at home and said he heard heavy thumps earlier as if someone was jumping on the roof. They also found blood on Orange's car. They also found socks drenched in blood. Okay, guys, there was so much evidence in this case that if I had to list every single detail with this video would be longer than Academics' face when he heard Euphoria. In fact, there was so much evidence, Orange was thinking of fleeing to Mako with a disguise and money, making the police chase after him for hours and hours. So we all agree that this guy did it, right? Orange is guilty. If he goes to trial, we know definitely that the prosecution is going to win this, right? Right? October 3rd, 1995.
In the matter of the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson, case number BA097211. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder.
Even though we all knew deep down inside that this man was guilty and that the prosecution was going to take this easy win. How did they lose? October 2012, Drake is celebrating his birthday at the compound, but he cannot do anything but check his Twitter feed the whole day. Kendrick had dropped his second album and first major label release, Good Kid, Mad City. Even though it was Dr. Dre's newest artist, Dr. Dre had heard the products that Kendrick had sent to him and decided it was finished without any production from him. It was that good. Kendrick was receiving love from all ends of the music industry, selling 242,000 copies in its first week. Rolling Stone crowned it as the greatest concept album of all time. Metacritic, which is known for being harsh on music reviews, rated it at a 91%. Meaning it received rave reviews. That's far beyond critical acclaim. MTV had Kendrick beat out 2 Chainz, Big Sean, Future, Meek, and even Drake, who dropped Take Care, mind you, as the best MC of that year.
Congratulations to Kendrick Lamar. He's actually in the building right now. I'm about to tell him right now that he's the #1 hottest MC in the game.
There was so many awards and accolades given to Dot for this album that if I had to list every single one of them, we'll be here longer than Academics' throat every time he sees Drake's. The point that I'm trying to make here is that the hip-hop community was ready to crown its next king. Without a doubt, Kendrick was the next king in line after 50 Cent, Kanye West, Lil Wayne, and probably to not as much acclaim, Drake. Drake was about to be dethroned, and unlike his predecessors, hadn't had a classic album yet. I mean, 50 had Get Rich, which helped him sell 1 million records in the first week for the next album, Lil Wayne with C3, which sold 1 million records in the first week, and Kanye's Graduation, which damn near sold 1 million records in the first week. All three of these albums were the albums that made these guys at the time, and they were all critically acclaimed. Drake hadn't yet submitted his classic in yet. However, he was already about to be dethroned by a guy that he put on. So, in order to stay at the top and be respected within the culture as the guy, everything was riding on Drake's next album. So Drake decides that he's going to go hard at work, pushing his pen game to the limit. In fact, Drake had only 15 songs on this album instead of the 19 or 20 song format that he used before, because he wanted to conjoin each song to make sense with the last one. I wonder which album just did that. Drake also employed some weird technique that people didn't get at the time, but nothing was the same as an album that was meant to be listened to backwards. If you didn't know, he was trying to make a musical version of the movie Memento, starring Guy Pearce. Basically, the movie is about some guy who forgets stuff. He's acting as his own detective, trying to find out who deleted his wife. The movie actually starts at the end and kind of plays backwards to the beginning, only to find out that he deleted his own wife. So yeah, Drake was really going through the mental gymnastics to try and make a masterpiece that would be revered like Kendrick's Good Kid was. Drake is excited to reveal this album that he's super proud of. He really is happy with this product and he thinks this is the album that will keep him on top. He was going to make sure he isn't dethroned. The release date of the album is on the 24th of September 2013. Now remember guys, it's almost been a whole year since Kendrick dropped Good Kid. Everybody is gearing up and is excited for Drake's new drop. Nobody is thinking about any other rapper. In fact, the hottest single on the radio at this point is started from the bottom. Drake is ready. Drake is fired up. Drake has the energy. Drake is... Big Sean just dropped.
And that goes for Jamaica, Big Crit Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mills, A$AP Rocky, Drake.
1 month before the release of his potential magnum opus, Kendrick drops a verse that turned the rap game upside down. Control, Alt, Delete. People, Drake is doing a press tour at every radio station and magazine and show trying to promote this amazing album that's about to come out, and all these mother suckers can ask him is about this damn K-Dot verse. There were already talks about K-Dot being the next guy and Drake not being the guy anymore. Now, at the time where everyone is meant to be focusing on him and his drop, they only care about asking everyone what they thought about what Kendrick Lamar said on Control. As much as the conversation was still heavy around the K-Dot verse, Drake was actually still able to sell 650,000 in the first week. As soon as the album dropped, the reception was at an all-time high of 79% on Metacritic. Aww. Which is not even critically acclaimed, guys. It's marked as just above average. ASAP. Drake could not reproduce the magic of the guy set to dethrone him. So Drake decides to change tactics. 25th September 2013, 1 day after the release of Nothing Was the Same.
This up and elevate it too much? Nah, I feel like that's it. It's like, you know, he's the new guy to love, and of course, I mean, rightfully so. He's super talented, you know. But thank you. But he's but he's like, you know, he is the underdog that's extremely hungry, you know what I'm saying? And he's doing his thing really well. And that verse was, he's giving people like moments, you know, like that verse was a moment to talk about. Are you listening to it now at this point in time? Okay.
He went head on against Kendrick.
You are being petty, Tom Petty.
As we all know, Kendrick would make a slight jab at Drake for his comments at the BET Cypher. Other than that though, Kendrick wouldn't really directly respond to Drake. At this point, it was clear that Kendrick was the top artist. Here's the thing though, Drake wasn't going to give up that easy. I mean, this is Drake that we talked about, right? So Drake was going to make a 1v1 with Dot. However, the difference now is that Drake was going to play at his strengths. One thing that we can't deny is Drake's ability to make a hit. Drake gave Kendrick a taste of Dot's own medicine by dropping If You Reading This Is Too Late the same month as Kendrick's magnum opus, T-Bag. The difference this time is that Drake didn't try to make a cohesive album like Kendrick's. He said, fuck it, to hell with hip-hop and their standards, and made an album full of just radio potential singles. We cannot deny Drake's ability to make radio hits over Kendrick, okay? To this day, that is the formula that Drake has employed with the help of the internet and winning the Meat Meal beef. He was not dethroned by Kendrick. However, he had to share the throne with him. And J.Cole, I guess. But right now we don't really care about Jermaine. The truth is, Drake was accepted by the mainstream industry over Kendrick, whereas Kendrick was accepted by the hip-hop and musical critics industry. However, neither of the two had the ability or could occupy where the other dominated. That's why it's always been accepted that they share the throne. Something that's never been done before. There's always just been one guy. I think at this point, we know the rest of the story in terms of the subliminals against each other. I mean, everyone seems to focus on that one line on King Kunta when they barely realize that the whole song is about the situation between Kendrick and Drake and how he shouldn't even be compared to anyone else. King Kunta is literally the big me line in song form. Until 2024, we finally reached a point where Kendrick, after the failure of his last album to prove his superiority in the rap industry, narrowly winning against Future, who isn't even in the top 3 talks, he drops another verse that turns the whole game upside down. Do not believe either academics or Drake when they tell you that Kendrick started this beef. We've clearly established that it was Drake. Drake has been the guy who wanted this battle between the two of them from the beginning because he believed that he was being baited by the control verse. Now, Drake has been wanting this 1v1 with Kendrick, but Kendrick has been giving him the side eye. What you think that I was gonna kill a couple rappers, but they did it to themselves. Everybody's suicidal, they didn't even need my help. Line was 4. When Kendrick dropped that verse on Like That, it was a great chess move. I've been on record saying that there's no point in Drake dropping or responding because he was on tour. The last thing that Drake would want is people chanting the Drake diss on his next stops in the tour. His tour was ending in a few weeks, and on top of that, it didn't seem like he had the ability to make the song even bigger than Like That at the time. However, I made the mistake of doubting Drake's ability to make a hit. You see, Drake was kind of able to turn that around. He's learned a lot from the Pusha T beef. His back-to-back tactics of just bars was not going to work. Gen Z only cares about gossip, bro. However, as I've been saying this whole video, Kendrick is hip-hop's #1 rapper. As much as Drake is the #1 artist in the world, he doesn't hold a candle to Kendrick's ability to capture the essence of the Shakespearean introspective writer's culture simply because of Kendrick's pen game, which is far superior than Drake's. I got you guys. Pusha T really changed the spectrum of how diss tracks are meant to be now. The diss tracks so far have gone as I predicted they would. Apparently, Drake might have multiple babies that he's hiding, and Kendrick is a wife beater cuck. If we had to go on just the writing and the bars though, Kendrick would take this thing hands down. I mean, look at this simple line. At face value, it really means nothing. However, Drake, you asked for a quintuple entendre, right? That's 5. Here we go. Park your son simply means that I'll delete you or at least knock your lights out. The lines before were, if it gets shaky. Parkinson's disease. The juxtaposition of running and parking. In the theme of diseases in the line, dementia affects 80% of people with Parkinson's disease. In the spirit of the first entendre, Hyung Sung Park is a Korean MMA fighter. Koreans are known to put their second and last names first. Park Hyung Sung. Most of Kendrick's songs are littered with lines like these and aren't immediately attention grabbing. And do not get me started with the 616 in LA verse. We'll be here all day. However, the title clearly says Drake will be the winner of this thing. Let's list the reasons why Kendrick is lauded as the guy who everyone thought would win if they went head to head. Kendrick has 4 major release albums while Drake has 8. Double the output for the similar ranking. Kendrick has a Pulitzer Prize award for writing, while Drake has a rumored ghostwriting sweatshop. Kendrick has 17 Grammy Awards compared to Drake's 5. Kendrick is the industry darling. Kendrick was able to disappear for over 5 years and still drop an album with high prominence, something that Drake has never tried and probably may not be able to do. Kendrick is way more accepted in black hip-hop culture. Kendrick has... Guys, there's so many reasons that people believe that Kendrick would beat Drake that if I had to name them all in this video, we'll be here longer than Academics' list of things that he loves about Drake. How will he lose? So like Orange's story in the beginning, even if all the trips are in your favor, you have to present the package to the audience. How you present the package is how you win. The prosecution in Orange's story failed to deliver the evidence in a manner that the jury could understand, confusing them enough to a point where the defense was able to change the narrative and win. They didn't explain why the cops jumped the gate at OJ's home. With tensions against black people at the time, it seemed like they were just trying to frame another innocent black man, which the jury of 1995 understood very well. In a popularity contest, Orange would win over the LAPD anytime. That's it. Drake just has to switch the narrative to the point that the audience understands it in his way. Then use his popularity to score himself another #1 single and another #1 record. Convince people that Dot started this beef while you were minding your own business. Use your strength of being able to make a hit for the current generation of music lovers. Then importantly, using his boogeyman status as the best lyricist against him by making a song that is universally loved even though it isn't as well thought out as Dot's. As we can see, he has the #1 trending song on YouTube, guys. Finally, like Pusha T, use gossip. Gossip makes diss tracks. Even though it's petty and a low blow, it always works best. At least in 2024. So far, all of this has happened. However, the beef has probably done the most damage to Drake because his moment of glory came with scars and stains that can never be undone. I mean, as I was editing this video, I literally came across so many videos and I literally cannot watch a Drake video anymore without cringing. I mean, listen to him saying something as innocent as this.
You know, I have no Valentine.
You have no Valentine?
Except for those two little girls from the Ellen Show.
What about this?
Oh yeah, so, and especially look at the young people, like, you look beautiful today, like, it's great.
I mean, poor Drake, man. Dude can't even flirt anymore without looking creepy. Drake, what are you doing, bro? Stop! I think this is the magnum opus of the videos I found because what the f is this, Drake? Drake, no! No!
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Now, J.Cole, I believe at this point we can agree, is permanently going to stay in the 3rd position of a generation of rappers because he apologized. However, I think he apologized to the wrong person. Man should have apologized to me, bro. I'll tell you why. On May 2012, Lil Durk released a song called All My Life. On the song, J. Cole writes,
These days, seeing rappers be dying way before they even getting they shine. I never even heard of Lil Buddy till somebody murder Lil Buddy. Now I'm on the phone searching Lil Buddy name. Got to playing his tunes all day in my room. Thinking, damn, this shit wicked to get their names buzzing. Some niggas just gotta go lay in a tomb. And media thirsty for clicks. I got a new rule. If you ain't ever posted a rapper when he was alive, you can't post about him after he get hit.
Nigga, I dropped a video on the 25th of April 2022 discussing this exact same theme, bro. I am J. Cole's ghostwriter, and if you don't believe me, click on the video on the screen right now. How much do ghostwriters get paid, Gunja? Quentin got paid 30K, bro? For real? Cole needs to run me my money. Are you guys still here? You click on the video now, ho. Click on the video. Hey, Walla. You still here? What else do you want to hear, bro? What the click on the video.